Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Terra Invicta. I am coming back to this. We're still on the demo build. I've got a press version. So I'm not sure if the build is still up now that the Steam Fest is off, but I have it, right? So you can check for yourselves, but I didn't double check that. But at the very least, I can keep playing it. I'm just going to say it. This might be one of my most anticipated games coming up this year. It has so much promise and potential, and I'm very curious where it's going. I played a little bit off channel, but to be honest, I haven't touched this in like a couple of weeks. So I think I've learned a few things, but they're not a huge amount. But anyway, someone did point out that your first agent will always be of your nationality. It reads your computer or something. So that's why Carmen's an Australian. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so a few things that I've been thinking about. One, we need to control as many control points as possible. Now, I don't know if there's a really great way to sort the UI. You see there, we've only got the Australian node. You can go show all nations, right? However, you can see how much sway we've got there, and there are some nations where we've got a bit of sway. However, we have no presence there at all. So like there's an organic component to it. You can't sort any of these columns. Designate priority template. What is that? Right, this is for development. That's fine. I know what that's for. That's not relevant to what I'm trying to do here. Control points. Sure. So what we really want is more control points, right? Cost against CAP 3. Australia times 2. Yeah, because we want more research, I think, is the real big deal at the moment. Because the tutorial wants us to do clandestine cells, right? In our R&D, we're going to develop We Are Not Alone, right? And that will actually unlock. Can we go to the tech tree? So if I mouse over, where is it? We Are Not Alone. There you go. Allows you to do faction projects, clandestine cells, right? So at the moment we're putting full bore all of our research that we possibly can into that. We've contributed 7, whereas some of the others have put like 100. Whatever, as long as it gets there. And I think, do we have to? Oh no, we don't have to work on a private project necessarily. In fact, we won't, because these are all just renewable, repeatable projects, and I'm not worried about any of that. Unless there's one that helps research. I don't think so. So look, we're going to put all of our research into We're Not Alone. I doubt we're going to get the first bonus, but we're going to do our part. So our priority now, as I understand it, is to win as many control points as we physically can. All right? So we just got to get into a rhythm to figure that out. What are these buttons? That's not a thing. Armies, that sort of stuff. Now, one other thing as well, if say we go to Carmen and we click on her, we can recruit organizations, because at the moment they cost all sorts of different things. See there, Harper Analytics actually just costs money, right? So it's not always influence. Unassigned orgs, we don't have any of them. And what they'll do is they basically give them more passive points, right? Now, I believe if we go augment, we can cache their XP. And for the most part, gain trait survivor. Oh, she doesn't have enough XP anyway. So you can give them traits, but you can also give them actual points, like for example, persuasion. So at the moment, my focus, I believe, now this is just me working on working theory. I'm not speaking from a level of expertise, but I'm going to do everything that I can to, oh, okay, look, is that the wealth that he's generating? To get more control points. So bloody Chungus is kind of useless, right? He hasn't been very good at anything, but he's actually generating a shitload of money for us, and influence for that matter. In fact, he's producing like a sixth of our entire organization's influence. Everyone else is pretty much doing none of that. Okay, that's cool. All right, so let's click on Carmen. No, hang on. Well, we're not up to designating missions anyway, so let's unpause and we'll step it out. Yeah, getting the rhythm is once you get there, you're good, and it does have like a parallel to like a Stellaris Paradox game where like once you understand all the shit that's going on, you actually don't do a huge amount. You do it in spurts. You know, you let the game run a lot, but you still need to understand it before you can do that. Control nation success. Okay, cool. Continue.
We've gained significant support.
Bolivia. Okay, I suppose I set that up.
We failed to take control.
Cuba. Okay, maybe I already put this action into place. I'm sorry, like it's been a little bit and I played a couple of different save states. So hopefully this lines up with the video that went up. Our control point in Australia would be better protect. Yeah, okay. I'm less worried about protecting our points and more about getting them. Confirm assignments. Right, so this, control nation. Now, the best I can come up with, I guess you can select them from a pull down, but at a glance, it doesn't really tell you much. The best I can come up with is just tab cycling until you find something that you can, you know. Don't you have good persuasion? 4. All right. Set national policy. No, I'm not worried about that. Advise. The Councilor's Science Command and Administration attributes. Right, so if I did actually have a scientist with stacked science ability, which I don't really think I do, then that's something we would do. 6?
Ready.
She has 7. Okay, so she's... Well, she is a scientist.
Where do you need me?
But we've only got the the councillors that we can work with at the moment.
Reporting in.
Yeah, you know what? We might actually lean into
At
that.
your service.
Where do you need me?
Set national policy. No, advise. And that does cost us. It's a different color, but yeah, it costs. That costs us these points, influence points. What am I going to use influence for now? I've recruited everyone. I suppose I could use it to like buy orgs and that sort of stuff. No, we'll tell her to advise, and it's going to be Bolivia or Australia. Now, Australia is generating what sort of research? 47.4. So if we go, your councillors with no mission assigned. Oh, whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Hang on.
Lending my expertise.
There we go.
Ready to go.
47.4. We'll see if we can keep track of that. So you're a politician, right? So this dude's our point winner. 57, but we already have all those points. 41. Can we get something? There we go, 69. We can spend influence, but we'd rather not. 69%. Bangladesh. Sounds good. Gucci. Let's control Bangladesh. Yeah, so I kind of wish there was a better way to sort the nations, because I'm just going to tab cycle and it seems to be doing it alphabetically. Yeah. Okay, so what's your story? You've got some science, but generally speaking, you're just a money maker. Public campaign can spend money. Control nation. Set national policy. I mean, now, public campaign, 15%. See, like, now what's that? Belarus? Yeah, I think public campaign's going to be the go. What's this? Advise? Maybe? Surveil? He does have 6 science, but that's not going to last. Public campaign. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get something that's close. Hang on, let's push it over the edge. 60%'s fine. Let's do that.
I will tell our story.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Ready to go.
Now, what's INV? Investigation. Can you tell me more about that? Council's ability to discover information someone would prefer to keep hidden. In addition to serving as the primary stat for the number of missions, it also determines the councillor's chances of sighting enemy councillors. Now, someone mentioned, I think, Sigma theory. We looked at that a long time ago, and that seems cool. And that is agent spy management, which I'm not poo-pooing that suggestion. Put it in a comment to remind me. I wouldn't mind going back to that game. But this game is so much more than that. The agent management is just a part of it, but like the motivation behind this is not strictly espionage for the sake of it. This is more about the overarching dealing with a first contact scenario and going to the stars, because we're going to build fleets and all that sort of stuff. So I wouldn't mind looking at Sigma theory. And yes, you're right, there are some similar agent management components to it, but it's definitely, I think the overarching scale is way different. Now I wonder what dictates the orgs that are available. Councilor must have these traits. Government faction must have a control point in India or a councillor from there. A control point in the United States of America or a councillor from there. Yeah. Do I don't have an American though. So that's what I'm sort of trying to figure out. Is this just the pool that is available to everyone at the moment, or is this custom for the councillors that I've got? No, you know what? I think this is the world pool, because it's something you could aspire towards. Be like, hey, I want to take over DARPA, so maybe I want to recruit an American, or take over America specifically to get that agency. Yeah, I think that's what's going on there. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to do with you? Crack down. Temporarily disable the benefits of a control point. Yeah, see, we don't really need you so much right now. Advise, stabilize nation. He's got some persuasion, so let's see about controlling a nation. 49%. We've already got him working Bangladesh. Here we go. Where is this? Bolivia? I've got one of the points already, but another point couldn't hurt. Okay. Cool. Unpause.
Teaches that in the creation
right, I think we just unlocked this on the previous episode. So it's lining up now.
And join together as we take our search into the stars. Director Khalid al-Ashgar from his khutbah at the first conclave of Muslim astrophysicists.
Right. So global research complete. Scientists around the world have gained a full understanding of mission to space. Project Exodus contributed the most to the effort? Sure. Existing in space is a different animal than merely traversing it. If we plan to go from tourist to resident, we must adapt. Logistics requires resupply missions planned months in advance, while engineering must cope with long-term exposure to solar radiation and the rigors of equipment maintenance in a vacuum. Likewise, our psychologists must develop a training regimen so personnel are able to maintain peak performance in an environment where up and down do not exist. Cool. I know we're retreading it a little bit, but I'm really enjoying it, so I don't personally mind. We have, of course, been able to travel into space for some time, but now we must establish how to do so easily, regularly, and cost-effectively, and in far greater numbers than ever before. This renewed mission to space thus entails a mission to change many of our most fundamental preconceptions, yet all these hardships are entirely necessary. For only once we are comfortably beyond Earth's orbit can we hope to explore. I love this. This is all true. Explore, exploit, and ultimately even settle upon neighbouring worlds, and in time perhaps far beyond. Following technologies can be pursued. Okay, we'll go take me there. Now, who chose Outpost Habs? Constructing long-term essential modules for a permanent presence in space. So that must be what they chose, but we want to keep pursuing We Are Not Alone. Okay.
I will help them.
Advise mission. So she's lending her thing. Take me there.
Wrapping up here.
50. So she boosted them about 3 points worth, is that right? Even though she's got 7 points? Faction Councilor advisors are increasing this value by 7%. Oh, so her science 7 increases the bulk research amount by a percentage, right? Now, okay. What we can do is we can try and change our funding here too. So, spoils is a problem. As a warning symbol, the nation's elites are receiving insufficient spoils. Oh, okay. Now, can I just manually customize it from here? I can. Let's do that, right? And now, I off channel, I had a little bit of a look at all these stats. There's a lot to take in, okay? So if we go monthly research, a nation's research production is a product of its education level, economy, cohesion, democracy, and unrest. All right. Knowledge. Completing the knowledge priority increases education, government, and pulls cohesion towards the middle value of 5. All right. And then you can do direct investment. %0 investment. Can I just change this to 0 everything? What's banks in? Oh, hang on. Did adjusting that... Hey, there you go. So it real time tells you if that's going to work or not. Perfect. 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 Okay. Yeah, I just sort of got to get my head around what this needs. Education level. Education level. Now you say that, but is there an actual firm statistic on that? I see knowledge in education, right? Let's turn that up as high as we can. And it spoils. I think that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. We'll focus in on Australia a little bit. Okay. Right, new project available. We're able to undertake the Information Science Lab project. Oh, okay. That would be... I'm not sure why, but okay. Information Science Lab. Allows construction of the following HAB modules, right? Grants 3% bonus to our investments in the knowledge priority if module is in an Earth interface orbit, up to a maximum of 30%. Okay. So exactly what we were just doing. Let's select the project and we'll put minimal funding into it. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Off we go.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Oh, good for you, mate. Continue.
Our presence is growing.
There we go. So we've controlled a point in Bangladesh.
Failed to take control.
That's okay, mate. It was a bit of a long shot with you. Global research complete. Here we go. Scientists around the world have gained a full understanding of the We Are Not Alone. The Protectorate contributed the most, right? And has selected orbital shipbuilding as the next research. I think this research system is so clever. Okay. The quiet assurance that humans have carried for so long is gone. The knowledge that we share the universe with at least one other sapient species has caused reverberations throughout our entire society. The very fabric of our civilization is being stretched to its breaking point as conflicting voices shout even louder ever louder over one another. It falls to our leaders, current and future, to rally our thrilled and frightened masses. Now more than ever, we must come together as people and prove to the universe that although we may no longer be at centre as we once believed, we are no less important. So we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff that we can do, and then these projects may unlock for us to research in the future. May unlock. Okay. Clandestine cells, Xenolab. Sure, so take me there. So we don't automatically get them unlocked. So I'm not sure what the trigger condition is for that. It might be that there's like a almost statute of limitations on it because the other faction got it first, but I'm not 100% sure. Appears we have some supporters in Ethiopia. All right, I was talking about having a sorting system to help me out. I might actually just take on board what my little dudes suggest to me at assignments. Like, I need a system because there's a million nations, and just tab cycling alphabetically I don't think is good enough. So what we might do is go...
Ready.
So you're our man. Control nation. At least this list is helpful. Ethiopia. Success. How do I... Like, I want to see Ethiopia. What happens if I do this? Nope. Look, I suppose the percentage is all that really matters, but it would be good to tell me whether or not there are enemies there.
Bringing them to our side.
You know what I mean?
Ready for my mission.
Control nation. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything out there. Now, we already have 1 point in Bangladesh, Bolivia, sorry. I don't suppose. 66. What is this? The Congo? Bugger it. Go for it, mate. I'm just going to try and control as many different points as possible.
Orders.
No, we'll leave the Congo. Oh, at least the tab cycling continues from where I left off. You know what I mean? It was still on the Congo. Okay. Yeah, Cuba. Let's go.
Bringing them to our side.
Right.
Your orders.
Yeah, I still think maybe we... It costs money to advise. I wouldn't mind saving it, to be honest. Bolivia. Brazil. Oh, have we gone through everything already? Huh. Not as many nations as I realised. Well, maybe it's not as bad as I was making it out to be. Ecuador. Can I, like, shift tab? Nope, that just opens up my overlay. Guatemala. Control nation, advise, go to ground. I mean, we might just have to throw her at low success rates. Bolivia, we've still got another point there we can take.
We'll bring this nation to our side.
Yeah. Okay.
We believe we can join them as brothers and
All right,
sisters.
a new
If
faction.
we only convince them we are worthy.
The Academy. Led by members of Earth's scientific community, this faction has concluded that any species able to cross the stars must have moved beyond violence as a mechanism to resolve conflict. Okay, maybe. They assert that humanity must work to build a bridge to ensure the aliens treat us as equals. Again, I think all these factions, it's so clever, right? Because usually in a video game, it's like these dudes have stronger spears, these dudes have better archers, right? It's all pretty surface level differences between your teams. But with this, they're all ideological, which ties into the core gameplay in that you are trying to seize control in this pseudo-faction. You know, you're not a country, you're a concept. I think it's really, really clever. I don't think I've seen anything like this before, but it at least for me playing this and talking to my microphone, and maybe the same for you guys, it's going to create some interesting conversations. All the different factions with all the different ideological driving forces as to how to grapple with this existential issue for humanity. Anyway, I know I'm raving a bit, but I just think it's really clever. It's one of those things that I probably wouldn't have thought of on my own, but now that you sort of show it in daylight, it opens up the ideas for game development and concepts and kind of makes you realize how stale some of the rote methodology is that we use. Anyway.
They are not life forms.
Humanity
They are
first.
sapiens. They are demons incarnate. They and the traitors who support them will face our judgment.
All right, okay. This faction has gathered all of Earth's xenophobia into its ranks. Its followers have rallied against the alien arrival without nuance, and they have even threatened humans who support finding a way to communicate with the aliens. That's fine, whatever.
Our only hope is to understand what the aliens want with us and determine how to satisfy them without losing our independence.
Like, I know it's very sledgehammery, whatever, humanity first, but it's still a perspective, extremist as it might be. The whole, we're going to deal with this with a closed fist. No aliens, no way, violence, like kind of stubborn in a way. It's good to have that faction in there and on the table, because if everyone was too reasonable, I suppose, well, I don't even want to make it like that, because I'm not necessarily saying that the humanity first concept is a bad one, right? If these aliens are here to eat us and suck our brains out and that, they've got the right idea. I'd be curious if the alien race, maybe some of you follow this game more than me, but if the alien race has a procedural nuance to it where it could be really hostile or it could be really friendly, because if the aliens turn out to be a certain way every single time, then surely that creates balance issues for all of these different factions, because that would make one of the factions probably the best faction. You know what I mean? Like, if they're always peaceful, then the peaceful cooperative science guys are probably going to have an advantage. So, and like, I don't want to assume, but it would make sense to me if the aliens are as varied as all these ideologies, which would be really cool to know. The leaders of this organization are an alliance of officials who believe the clandestine nature of the aliens' arrival marks them as a threat, but they have concluded that any species that can cross interstellar different distances is nothing that humanity is capable of opposing. Right, sure. So they humble themselves against them, and so there's a bit of egghead going on here. They recognize that they're more powerful than us, and they're also shifty. Right, that's interesting. So keep an eye on them.
They are here to cleanse
the
our sick world.
servants.
The aliens are our saviors.
Right.
And all who oppose them are enemies of the future.
This group has determined that aliens are of divine origin, have declared itself the heralds and the defenders. Okay. They're looking for sort of pseudo-religious uplift. I love it. It's so clever. As opposed to aliens bad, humans good.
Our supporters are in place.
Cool, so we've taken Ethiopia.
We failed to take control.
That's all right, mate.
Our presence
You're only here
is
for your
growing.
money. Oh, cool. We've taken Cuba
We're taking over.
and Bolivia. Wonderful. Okay, so this is how we should have been doing it from the beginning. Because if we go... What's this? Aliens have rapidly become more popular in Belarus. What did he say? Can I get your advice back? We'll have to investigate Belarus. Because I wasn't sure if he was saying, like, we should just try and take over there or what. Okay, cool. So look at all the science we're generating from all these countries. That's interesting. So science is dropping in Bangladesh. So what if we... Welfare. Okay, so let's start mass... So I can't control this point's budgeting. Welfare. Right. Well, if we do that, right, that's the best I can do with the money that's available. Short of doing direct investment. Yeah, so I guess it depends how anal you want to get about all these different guys. I really do want to improve their research, but I feel like if we can't get a stable thing going on, we might have a problem. Bolivia. Can I move these tables around? Can't. Bolivia, what's going on here? Oh, okay. Nice. Military spoils. Bugger it. Let's just do this. Let's pretty much triage the situations and just see. Like, there's a learning process to this. Okay, nations. I mean, at least we're gaining science in Cuba, right? Welfare, spoils. Oh, there we go. Spoils went up for a sec there. Perfect. That's something. That's something. Nations. And Ethiopia is the other one that we've got. Look at me coming in and developing all these areas. Or at least doing the best I can. Okay. Okay. All right, well, look, we're up to assignment confirmation. We might as well stop there for the moment. Look, there's a lot of talking and it's a bit of a slower burn. I know a bunch of you are interested in this and some of you have verbalized that you're not really into it. I love it. Like I said, I'm really anticipating the full release. I know that you can play this for the first 7 years or whatever, and like I said, double check actually, chuck a comment to remind me if the demo build is still on Steam. I'm not sure it is. It might have just been for that window for the Steam Next Fest, but you can play for the first 7 years, and we're still in the first year, so we still have a lot to chip away at and play here. And I kind of want to, even though I try not to do that with demo builds too much. You know, like broadly speaking, I kind of avoid demos a lot on the channel because I like the idea of having the potential to do a let's play. You know what I mean? To do like 100 episodes. But this seems to have more than enough content for us to get more episodes out. Anyway, I don't mean to waffle. Let me know what you reckon. Otherwise, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.